And we're back here on the Knights Broadcasting YouTube channel for the second half of today's USA South Conference doubleheader between the Tornadoes of Brevard College and your Southern Virginia University Knights. Again, it's been two games between these two teams in the past 2 days, both taken by Brevard College. The first game yesterday by a score of 8-5, and the second one, which just ended about 40 minutes ago, Brevard College took that one by a score of 19-16. Folks, you are not mishearing me. That is indeed 19-16. Both teams had phenomenal scoring opportunities and took advantage of every single one of them. But at the end of the day, Brevard College took the game 19-16. That's like a low-scoring football game. Not typically a score you see in a baseball game whatsoever. But you know what? It's entertaining, so we'll take it. But now we go into the second game of today's doubleheader. Once again, I'm Dawson Wiedrich alongside Christian Clement.
Hey, guys.
Which should be an exciting rematch of the game earlier today.
Yeah, no, definitely for sure. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Knights coming out of this last game and see what adjustments they're making, how fresh the pitchers are going to be, considering SVU went through a lot of pitchers in the last game.
Indeed, I believe they went through 4 pitchers before the last 2 innings. And so Southern Virginia, again, like you said, really dug into their depth chart as far as pitchers is concerned. And now pitching for Southern Virginia to start this one off is number 34, Seth Lloyd, with number 6, Blake Burchett, at the top of the batting order, as he has been for the 2 previous games.
I know. It looks like between the 2 games you had a shortstop has changed out as well. That's going to be number 25, Stockton Hall, now playing shortstop.
As earlier today, that was Will Parker who filled that position. Burchett, solid hit, rolls into the outfield. He'll get a single off that one. So Burchett continues to be the thorn in the side of Southern Virginia, as he's scored 5 runs in the previous 2 games.
Yeah, and then Will Parker moved over to third base.
Up to bat now for the Tornadoes is number 3, Luke Morton. Again, we talked about the high-scoring affair that was the previous game. The Knights of Southern Virginia had an inning where they scored 5 runs, then one where they scored 7 runs, and Brevard College had an inning where they scored 10 at the top of the 7th. There's a strike right there. Make it a 1-1 count. And again, I'm sure the main topic of conversation in both dugouts was, we got to improve our defense. And we also got to make sure we buckle down pitching-wise, because we can't afford to have back-to-back games where points are in the teens. Swing and a miss there from Morton. That makes it a 1-2 count for Seth Lloyd. Trying to check him off at first.
Lloyd definitely has a nice pickoff move.
Another hit, rolls into center field. Here's Danes fielding it. It advances Burchett to second. So back-to-back batters with solid hits into the outfield. Now up to bat for the Tornadoes is number 15, Logan Clark.
Clark coming off an excellent game of his own.
Indeed, had a couple of hits, an RBI to his name as well. That one a little high from Lloyd.
Also for the Knights, they changed out the catchers too. You now have Stempen now in at catcher for.
Indeed, that is number 19, Robert Stempen.
And for Johnson.
Southern Virginia head coach Jerry Schlegelmilch coming up to talk to the umpire. That one drops to the strike zone for Lloyd.
Makes it 1-1.
Swing and a miss there for Clark. Makes it 1-2. And Lloyd gets his first strikeout of the game.
Got him swinging.
Makes it 1 out here in the top of the first. Runners on second and third. That one just a little high. Right down the middle for Lloyd. Makes it a 1-1 count. At bat right now for the Tornadoes is number 26. That is Cale Kohler. That's popped up in the center left. That's Benji Horsley snagging it down. Run scored for the Tornadoes.
That was another adjustment made by the Knights. Yes, Leonardo was out there, and
indeed, their replacement with Benji Horsley out there in the outfield. So that's 2 outs now, with Burchett getting a run, which is a phrase we've grown very accustomed to saying over the past 24 hours. Solid hit rolls into left field. Could see another run scored for the Tornadoes. In fact, we will. Gives the Tornadoes an early 2-0 lead.
Brevard College right now finding the holes in the defense of the Knights. So Knights have got to be able to step that defense up.
Well, a lot of that also is due to Brevard's hit placement. I mean, they've been putting it right in between the second base, the shortstop, and the outfield, where it's really difficult for anybody to get to, which has been a huge help for Brevard College. Pitch a little outside for Lloyd. Pitch a little high. Now, coming into yesterday's game between these two teams, Brevard College had been on a 2-game losing streak, but after winning the game earlier today, they have now won 2 straight, and Southern Virginia has now lost 2 straight after a 5-game winning streak. And if the Knights were to drop this 3rd game of this series, they would drop to a losing record of 7-8. So obviously they want to avoid that as much as possible, get back into the win column. That pitch makes it a 3-1 count. And also, of course, you want to get a victory over a conference opponent, as conference games are the ones that really matter most. That one a little to the outside.
Knights pitchers just not being able to find that strike zone in either game so far.
It's really been a struggle to them for sure. And that was Granada, who got walked to first. Now up to bat for the Tornadoes is number 14, Brett Burchett.
Burchett also coming off a really good game. And
indeed, he had 2 hits. He had an RBI. That pitch makes it a 1-1 count. That one just barely high for Lloyd. Makes it a 2-1 count. Foul ball. Makes it a 2-2 count. That one a little outside, makes the count full. That one just a little high. So now after walking Burchett, bases are now loaded. With number 32 up to bat, that is Parker Cruz, the senior from Coates, North Carolina. This is the first time we'll see him at bat today. Solid swing there. That's gonna be gone just over the fence. A grand slam for Cruz on his first at-bat. What a fantastic swing. And the scoring ways continue for the Tornadoes of Brevard College, as the score now stands 6-0. Again, you walk one batter, then the next pitch results in a home run, scoring 3 additional runs. That's how you start a baseball game. If you're in Brevard's dugout, you love to see that. And already in the top of the first inning, the Tornadoes have 4 hits. That pitch makes it a 2-1 count. That makes it 2-2. That one a little high, makes the count full. And another batter walked for Lloyd. That makes 3, as that is Zach Allison making his way to first.
Gonna have a catcher's conference, bring over the third baseman as well to come try and pep talk the catcher just a little bit here.
And after Allison gets walked to first, we will go back to the top of the batting order with number 6, Blake Burchett.
Currently warming up in the Knights bullpen is going to be number 17, Will Spurgew. Or Sparague.
That first pitch is a ball. Second pitch is a ball, make it a 2-0 count. Beautiful inside strike, makes it a 2-1 count. That one just a little too high. Makes it a 2-1 count. 3-1 count, excuse me. Another walked batter. So now runners on first and second. Now to bat is number 3, Luke Morton.
Right now, Lloyd not being able to find anything right now.
That one a high strike. That one a little to the outside. Lloyd throwing across his body a little bit.
And I do need to apologize. It is not 17, it is 27, so that's going to be Aiden Opp who's warming up in the bullpen for the Knights.
Nice inside strike. Makes it a 1-2 count. Lloyd hoping to get his second strikeout and get the Knights up to bat. Wind is indeed picking up here on the field. That'll be a foul ball. The count remains 2-2. Make sure that they can keep Allison at second.
Allison tried to steal off of that foul. Was going for the steal one, but it was played foul, so we had to go back to second.
And a mishandle there from Smith. And another run will be scored for the Tornadoes. That'll be number 4, Allison, making it home, making it 7-0. With now runners on first and third. That was Luke Morton. That solid hit again. Smith was right there, but it looked like it had an awkward bounce towards his right, making it hard for him to field. So now up to bat is number 15, Logan Clark. That makes 5 hits for the Tornadoes in the top of the first inning. That one a little low to the outside. Swing and a miss. Make it a 1-2 count.
Got him to chase that one. Clark a sacrifice fly on his first at bat.
The Tornadoes do not have an out to give, so he cannot repeat that this time. Another foul ball. Popped up in the infield. Smith able to bring that down. And it brings us to the bottom of the first, the score being 7-0. A fantastic start for the Tornadoes. And the Knights now desperately needing to respond quickly, as we'll have Will Parker up to bat with Jackson Massey on deck for Southern Virginia. Starting off pitching for the Tornadoes is number 7, Bryce Bowers, the senior right-handed pitcher from Madisonville, Tennessee. This is the first time we've seen him on the pitcher's mound today. We'll see what he's able to provide for the Tornadoes. And during this break, I want to remind you, you're watching this on Knights broadcasting here on YouTube. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know what we can do to improve this viewing presentation of Southern Virginia athletics. And be sure to click that notification bell. That way you get notified every single time we go live with Southern Virginia athletics. Thank you so much for supporting Knights broadcasting.
Knights are going to have to come out swinging, both literally here.
Indeed.
Not trying
pun
to
intended and pun not intended.
Not trying to intend the pun there, but they need to come out swinging. If not, then they're going to find themselves in a hole.
Indeed, they're already in a big hole, being down 7 runs to 0. So like you said, the Knights need a lot of things to go their way. They need their batters to really step up. And you can hope, if you're a Knights fan, to see a repeat performance from Nick Daines, number 43, who had a phenomenal outing at bat in the previous game. Only once did he not make it on base. He had a home run, he had a double, he had a couple RBIs. He ended up scoring 5 runs by himself out of the 16 that the Knights scored. So if you can have a repeat performance for him, as well as more support from some other batters who maybe didn't quite have the best outing in the previous game, like for instance, Will Parker really struggled. Massey got a little things going, but other than that, they need other people to really step in to provide some relief. So once again, Will Parker up to bat for Southern Virginia.
Will Parker had a few good hits in the last game, so they're going to have him start off instead of Nate McLean, who was really iced in the last game.
That first pitch is a strike, make it 0-1 count. That one a little low, make it 1-1.
That one goes into the dirt.
Swing and a miss there for Parker. That one high to the outside.
2-2.
That one also in the dirt, now a full count. That one's the inside, so Parker will walk to first. Next up is Jackson Massey with Nick Daines on deck. I mean, aside from getting a single or even the best possible solution, a home run, you get to walk to first, get a runner on base, establish something there.
Yeah, Knights just need to focus on getting on bases and not trying to hit the bomb.
Right down the middle, a quick release there for Bowers. As anyone who's played baseball can tell you, the quicker release a pitcher has, the harder it is for your batter to read. That one just a little high, make it a 1-1 count. Swing and a miss there for Massey. Bauer's windup is just so fast. Turning two. And they get the double play. So both Parker and Massey are out. Now to bat is Nick Daines. So now the Knights were hoping to have 2 runners on base with Nick Daines at bat. No longer the case now. For those just tuning in, we're in the bottom of the first inning in the second game of this doubleheader, where the score is 7-0 in favor of the Tornadoes, who had a fantastic top of the first.
Yeah, I think the highlight of that one was that grand slam from... That was going to be from Cruz.
Indeed, then that was Cruz's first at-bat in the series. In the game yesterday as well as today. Fantastic hit there from Daines. He continues his streak of successful at-bats, as that'll be a double. Nick Daines has had the pitchers for Brevard's number.
I know Nick Daines definitely coming in, definitely igniting the bats of SVU, as he's consistently has gotten the hit.
He absolutely has. Now up to bat is number 20, Mitch Smith. Foul ball. Solid swing there for Smith. That is out of there, into the trees. Home run for Southern Virginia, and 2 runs scored. One by Nick Daines and the other by Smith.
That definitely was something that Nick needed to happen there for sure.
Mitch Smith gets his second home run of the day. He contributed one in the first game of the day today as well.
Yeah, that's his second.
So now up to bat for Southern Virginia is Stockton Hall. As the Knights do a good job of trying to respond to the 7-run inning that Tornadoes had. First pitch is a foul ball. And on deck for the first time today, we will see Ty Martinez for Southern Virginia. Solid swing there. Goes to the outfield. This will be a double for Hall. The Tornadoes lucky that the overthrow went straight to third base, that Hall could not advance.
It's going to be a timeout so Hall can give that shin guard up.
And now Ty Martinez will be up to bat. I like seeing Martinez inserted into the lineup because, as those who have watched these broadcasts know, just a couple weeks ago against Capital University, Ty Martinez had one of the best batting innings I've personally ever seen, where he had a home run and then later on he had a grand slam in the same inning. So we'll see if he can add something to the batting lineup for Southern Virginia today. Swing and a miss from Martinez. Gives him an 0-2 count.
There's something about Bowers is that he's definitely consistent on those pitches of his.
That one just a little outside. Makes it a 1-2 count. And Martinez, the freshman from South Weber, Utah. He has Stockton Hall at second. That pitch into the dirt. Good recovery there by catcher, number 14, Brett Burchett.
That's going to make it a 2-2 count after that one goes down into the dirt.
That one a little to the outside. That makes it a full count. Swing and a miss for out number 3 as we go to the top of the second inning. The score right now stands 7-2 in favor of Brevard College. So Southern Virginia getting a decent response thanks to the home run from Mitch Smith, which helped him and Nick Daines score 2 runs in total. they still find themselves down by 5. So for Southern Virginia, again, you just got to make the plays in field that you can and make sure that you're giving yourself consistent looks pitching-wise. Because a big problem for Southern Virginia, at least in the early goings of these last 2 games, has been walking batters. I mean, Burchett, for example, Blake Burchett has taken advantage of that. We have a new pitcher for Southern Virginia in number 27, Aiden Opp. As Christian pointed out, he was warming up in the bullpen earlier. He's got a sidearm release. The second time we've seen a pitcher like that for Southern Virginia today.
Yeah, I think this is his second appearance.
And so with this break, I want to once again thank our athletic partners, Straws Drinks and Eats here in Buena Vista, Virginia. If you're in the area, whether you're visiting campus or whether you're going to the Blue Ridge Mountains and just visiting the beautiful scenes around Buena Vista, be sure to go stop by Straws Drinks and Eats. They have great sodas, great drinks, and great times. Occasional live music, as well as great displays of local art, which you absolutely just love to see. So once again, Straws Drinks and Eats, thank you so much for partnering with Southern Virginia Athletics. So up to bat for the Tornadoes is number 26, Cale Oler.
Again, that sidearm dip pitch is going to be one of the most interesting things that they're going to have to overcome early now for Brevard, because compared, as you mentioned, the standard pitch is kind of just the normal just floater now, but with the sidearm it dips a lot sooner than the standard pitch does. So that'll be interesting to see how the Knights how Brevard is able to overcome that.
Indeed, they're able to handle it a little, or pretty decently easily against number 4, Nolan Opp, who's also a sidearm pitcher that we saw in the first game. It's hit to Smith. Be easy out at first. So the Knights just need a couple more plays like that to give themselves more of a chance at whittling away at this early lead that the Tornadoes now possess.
Yeah, he was walked the first at bat for him.
Now up to bat is number 19, Frankie Vasquez. That pitch low and into the dirt for Opp. That pitch also a little low, making a 2-0 count. That's typically something you tend to see when a sidearm pitcher gets to the game for the first time. A lot of their pitches tend to sink a little lower than they should, then they work their way up. As you see right there, it gets a little higher, but that one still is a ball, making a 3-0 count.
Yeah, I got
that one inside, so Vasquez will walk to first.
Yeah, I have the right hand versus the right hand, so those are some of the harder matchups, especially for a slide pitcher.
So now up to bat for the Tornadoes is number 1. That is Lucas Granada, the sophomore from Wake Forest, North Carolina.
Ooh, he was walked his first time at bat.
That one low to the outside. You have Granada at bat with number 14, Brett Burchett, on deck. That one will be a strike. Make it a 1-1 count. That one just a little low to the outside. That's nothing to you. Tend to see them have their pitches land in the bottom left corner near the strike zone. As again, they're throwing across their body, and if they're a right-hand pitcher, they're throwing towards the left side. At least that's where the release ends up going. Foul ball makes it a 2-2 count. That popped up into right field. Easy play there for number 6, Ty Martinez. Keeps Vasquez at first. Brett Burchett now up to bat.
Brett was walked at his first time at bat as well.
Again, as Seth Lloyd pitched the first inning. Walked a couple of batters.
That was the ball, but the catcher was looking to see if he had a pickoff.
That makes it a 1-0 count. Also low pitch from Opp. Nice and inside. Makes it a 2-1 count. Nice and low strike that time, evens it up at 2.
There we go. I think he finally found his stride.
Try to make the play at second. And Vasquez is safe.
Barely sneaks in there.
And the last pitch makes it a full count.
If they didn't get this last strike, it'll be the end of the inning there, and Knights can breathe a little bit of sigh of relief.
That one is a low pitch. Burchett will go to first.
I should just stop talking. That commentator Curse and me are best friends, I swear.
Every commentator goes through it for sure. But now bases for Brevard College. You have one at first and another at second. Now to bat is number 32. That is Parker Cruz. He had a home run in his first at bat at the top of the first. That one high into the outside, or to the inside, excuse me. Cruz had to duck away from it. Makes it a 2-0 count. Right down the middle for Opp. Swing and a miss. Looks like there was a miscount here on the scoreboard. Trying to make sure they get that corrected. Into the infield. Parker hesitated to throw it to first, results in Brevard College having bases loaded. So Cruz gets the single. And now you have number 4, Zach Allison, in prime position to make an amazing play here, as we already had a grand slam for Brevard College in the first inning. That one an inside strike. Makes it an 0-1 count. Of course, for Southern Virginia, you already gave up 7 runs in the first inning. You don't want to give an inch here in the second because you were only able to come back with 2 yourself in the first inning. So you want to make it to where you can slowly and steadily work your way back in.
Yeah, wind definitely is starting to play a factor now.
The count is now 1-1. That's hit into center right. Another run scored for the Tornadoes, and possibly a second indeed it will. And a third. Off the hit from Allison, 3 runs are scored. Makes it 10 runs to 2. Again, Brevard College has just been really motivated and just had a lot of momentum offensively over the past 2 games and 2 innings. So with those 3 runs scored, as he's safe at third, if you combine the points scored in the previous 2 games as well as the first 2 innings here, the Tornadoes have scored 37 points in the previous 20 innings. Strike there for Opp.
Gets him to look on that one.
Makes the count 1-1.
That one's down in the dirt.
Like, we've seen a lot of low pitches from Opp.
Well, that's also just happens to be one of the drawbacks of being a sidearm thrower. You have a lot that'll tend to go into the dirt.
Trying to steal home, and he is successful. That is Allison, making it 11 runs to 2. So that's 4 runs scored in the top of the second inning. Right down the middle for a strike. And at bat right now is number 6, Blake Burchett, as he now has a full count. And Burchett will walk to first. So now up to bat for the Tornadoes is number 3, Luke Morton. Burchett stealing second and is safe. So 2 outs, top of the second. 1 runner on second base with Morton at bat with a 1-0 count. And then Burchett successfully steals third. Burchett has already scored 1 run in today's game. He's been walked twice and has 1 hit. That one a low pitch from Opp. Makes it a 3-0 count. Nice inside strike for Aiden Opp. Makes it a 3-1 count. Nice strike, makes it a full count.
Batter thought it was for sure it was going to be called a ball, so he started walking.
And he thought it was just a little outside. That was way inside, so another walk. So now runners on first and third.
Yeah, now comes the problem is, do we start for SVUs, do they start warming up another pitcher knowing that they already have such a short bullpen as it is?
Indeed, I believe they've gone through 6 pitchers up to this point in this doubleheader. Nice hit into left field. It's just short of being a home run. So that's 2 more runs scored off the hit from number 15, Logan Clark. Makes the score 13 runs to 2. And we were kind of wondering between games how Southern Virginia would respond after dropping the first game of this doubleheader by a score of 19-16. You know, it could be one of 2 ways where the Knights would feel very motivated and fired up to come back and take a win. Or if, you know, after scoring 16 points, you still end up losing that game, does it deflate your sails a little bit?
And it looks like right now it's that second option where the sails have been a little bit deflated, especially after only 2 innings and the score is 13-2.
That was a foul ball, makes it an 0-1 count. A low pitch from Opp. That's a solid hit out to the outfield. Another home run for the Tornadoes. And number 26, Cale Oler, makes the score 15 runs to 2. Brevard College now with 2 home runs. Southern Virginia has 1 of their own, which is the reason why Southern Virginia has 2 runs. Inside strike for Opp. Solid swing there. It's going to drop short of the fence, I do believe, as Benji Horsley able to bring it down. So after the top of the second, the Tornadoes now lead by a score of 15 runs to 2. They had a 7-run first inning, 8-run second inning. Now Southern Virginia, as we go to the bottom of the second, they need something here desperately. They need a solid inning. They need a couple of runs at the very least. And then just need to figure something out defensively because, again, this game's getting away from them. And as you open up conference play, you want to make sure that, well, obviously you don't want to drop all 3 games. But at the same time, you want to make sure that even if you do drop all 3 games, you build upon it and try to figure out how to respond in difficult situations and to stop the bleeding. Because at this point, again, you've allowed 15 runs in 2 innings. You got to figure something out to shut them down from here. There's nothing you can do about the 15 runs now. That time is gone and past. What you can focus on is what you can control from here on out. And so up to bat for Southern Virginia will be number 28, Marcelino Leonardo Jr. He's had a back and forth day today, and a couple of solid hits, striking out a few times, and then getting out on a couple other occasions as well. So we'll see if he's able to help spark the Knights in a comeback effort. While we have this break, I want to remind you you're watching this on Knights Broadcasting here on YouTube. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know how we're doing and how we can improve this presentation of Southern Virginia athletics. And be sure to click that notification bell. That way you get notified every single time we go live with Southern Virginia athletics. We appreciate your support of Knight Broadcasting. Continuing to pitch for the Tornadoes is number 7, Bryce Bowers. Solid hit into center field, just short of the fence. Leonardo working his way to second. And he is safe. Ball came very dangerously close to our own broadcasting booth here in the outfield. Just short of a home run for Leonardo.
Good starting hit off by Leonardo. That's exactly what the Knights need to do, is just find the hits and just get on base.
Indeed, now up to bat for the Knights is Benji Horsley. Having a runner on second. Solid hit into right field. Leonardo will score a run here as Horsley gets the single and RBI. That brings the score to 15 runs to 3. So again, when you have this big of a deficit, that's exactly what you want to do. Get someone on base, get a double, then bat them in. And then now you have number 19 for Southern Virginia. That is Robert Stempen up to bat.
Freshman out of Stanford, Virginia.
That one a little high for him, make it a 1-0 count. That's popped straight up into the air. It's going to drop to the ground. So Horsley will be out at second. But somehow, some way, that'll be a successful single for Stempen.
I think that might have just been a little bit intentional with that pop-up.
No, I have a hard time believing that was an intentional swing, because that's asking to be caught out as well as a chance for your runner to be tagged out at second as well. So that one, he's just very, very fortunate that there was some miscommunication on the pop fly on Brevard's part. So that makes 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Solid swing out to right field. That'll be a single. It'll advance Stempen to second base. That was Parker on that swing. He'll be followed up by Jackson Massey with Nick Daines on deck. And again, you still have an out to give. Runner on first and second.
Yeah, you have Nick Daines on deck, so.
Solid swing, turn the double play. Safe at first is Massey, but Parker is out at second. With Stempen now at third. So 2 outs now, and Nick Daines up to bat.
Score is currently 15-3 in favor of the Tornadoes. And yes, you did hear me, right? That is 15-3.
Indeed, the Tornadoes had a very successful first 2 innings. The first inning scoring 7 runs and 8 runs, respectively. So that first pitch is low. It's a ball. Make it a 1-0 count. That one right down the middle. Make it a 1-1 count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. That one low into the dirt, make it 2-1. Again, with runners on first and third.
Yeah, Yeah, Nick waiting just a little bit to see if he can't find his favorite pitch.
Because as we mentioned before, Nick Daines has been very successful at bat. Gets that one to go into right field. A run will be scored for Southern Virginia. That'll bring the score to 15 runs to 4. Still in favor of the Tornadoes, but the Knights working their way back in it. Now you have Massey at second and Daines at first. And the fantastic batting day for Daines continues. Now number 20, Mitch Smith up to bat.
Smith with the homer. We'll see if he can't replay a homer.
Indeed, he's had a fantastic day at bat for these 2 games as well. That one a low strike for Bowers. Make it an 0-1 count. Swing and a miss there for Smith. That makes it an 0-2 count. We have foul ball. That bounces off the roof of the clubhouse here up in Paramaclura High School. Makes it keeps that a 0-2 count. That one, the high pitch, make it 1-2. Again, right now there are 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Score stands 15 runs to 4 in favor of the Tornadoes.
Gonna ask for a ball change. Pitchers are allowed to do that at their discretion.
So 1-2 count. Swing and a miss there. That's the 3rd out. So the Knights still able to get some points on the board. And they've had 2 runs in both the first and the second inning, which is decent offense. But compared to what Brevard College has been able to do in the first 2 innings with 7 runs in the first, 8 runs in the second, you're going to have to do a lot more either defensively or get a lot more things going at bat if you want to come back into this one. New pitcher for Southern Virginia is number 41, Carson Bybee. We saw him a little bit in the first game of the doubleheader today.
Carson had some much success in the last game when it came to pitching, so it's nice to see that the Knights saved his arm to keep that going.
Again, the Knights really need to figure something out defensively because they've allowed at least 7 or more runs in the previous 2 innings. And I'll see if we want any prayer of coming back into this one and taking 1 game of this 3-game series. You need to shut everything down from here on out. Quick 3-out innings defensively. But with that, we want to once again thank our athletic partners, Straws Drinks and Eats here in Buena Vista, Virginia. If you're visiting the area, go check out Straws Drinks and Eats. Great drinks, great treats, and great times. Thank you so much, Straws Drinks and Eats, for partnering with Southern Virginia Athletics. We appreciate you.
Yeah, very much so. We definitely took advantage of Straws this morning. With it being as cold as it was, we got the milk steamers with a little bit of cocoa, and it was just hit the spot to keep us warm for a little bit.
And did exactly what we needed. You can't tell through the cameras, but today is a very chilly day here in Buena Vista, Virginia, with a lot of wind as well. But both teams still able to put a lot of points on the board regardless. And up to bat for the Tornadoes is number 1, Lucas Granada. Granada has already scored a run. He's been walked once. This is his 2nd at-bat. That pitch a little low. That pitch into the dirt. An odd reaction there from Bybee after that pitch. He's shaking off his arm a little bit. After that pitch makes it a 2-0 count. Responds with a strike right down the middle.
Yeah,
that makes it a 2-1 count.
He's definitely filling that arm just a little bit.
That one dropped, but it was still a little high. Makes it a 3-1 count. The foul ball there. It's a little inside, so it looked like Granada may have hit the near bottom of his bat with that one. That makes it a full count. Hits into the field of play. Stockton Hall fields it, or attempts to. It bounces a little low for him as he's running towards it. Ends up being a single for Granada.
Having Smith come up with it after that.
So now Granada on first. Now up to bat is number 14, Brett Burchett. Burchett has been walked twice and has scored 2 runs. 2 of the 15 that the Tornadoes currently have here in the top of the third.
First pitch was right down the middle for strike 1.
That one just a little to the outside, making it a 1-1 count. That's popped up. Be a foul ball. That makes it a 1-2 count. Nice hit into center left. That gives the Tornadoes runners on first and second after the hit from Burchett. So now up to bat is number 32, Parker Cruz. Still 0 outs here in the top of the third. As we mentioned before, Cruz has had a successful day so far. 2 at-bats, scored 2 runs, has 2 hits, 4 RBIs, and 1 home run.
Yeah, his first at-bat, he finds the grand slam.
That's as good of a first at-bat as you'll have or see in any level of baseball. Tries to sink it into the strike zone, but it's a little high, making a 1-0 count. That's popped up into center field. Danes chasing it down. He slides in for the catch. That makes it the first out. Fantastic effort from Danes. He also saw Stockton Hall trying to run back towards it.
Yeah, Nick coming up with the absolute gorgeous play, keeping the runners where they're at.
Indeed, so still runners on first and second with 1 out. And up to bat is number 4, Zach Allison. That was a nice low strike there. Makes it an 0-1 count.
Trying to go for a pickoff.
A foul ball. That makes it an 0-2 count. That's about as close as it can be without calling it a strike. Makes it a 1-2 count. Frankly, I'm kind of speechless as to why that wasn't called a strike.
Kind of hard to tell from where we're sitting. To us, it might have looked a little bit may have looked like they're on the line, but
that one a little high that time. Makes it a 2-2 count. Again, if you're just joining us, the score stands 15 runs to 4 in favor of the Tornadoes of Brevard College here at the top of the third. That one low into the dirt, making it a full count now.
Yeah, 3 balls, 2 strikes. You got runners on second and first with only 1 out so far.
Knights are absolutely going to want to try to set up a double play here. That one a little to the outside. And so Allison will walk to first now. Bases loaded with number 6 Blake Burchett up to bat. Burchett, again, we talk about the fact that he has, you know, that 5'7" frame with a smaller strike zone. He's really taken advantage of that. In the previous 2 games, he's walked twice in both and is a fantastic base runner.
Carson's hitting at 5'10", so it's a little bit easier of a strike zone for him to find than some of the other 6-footers that SVU has. So we'll see if that will be a little bit of a better factor for him going into Blake.
And Blake has also scored 2 runs today with 1 hit. Again, still 1 out. That pitch from Bybee a little low. Make it a 1-0 count. That one also low, making it a 2-0 count. And also a little high, now 3-0.
Yeah, no, that's definitely been a factor in both games so far, is that SVU pitchers have just not been able to find a strike zone on any of the Brevard College players.
And also low. So thanks to the walk, another run will be scored for the Tornadoes, making the score 16-4 here in the top of the third. Now up to bat is number 3, Luke Morton. Also low pitch there for Bybee. A little conversation here between Robert Stempen and Carson Bybee.
We gotta love to see that, the senior stepping up, talking to his. Now you see a meeting on the mound between the catcher and pitcher, trying to get Carson to get out of his head just a little bit and just play catch.
Essentially, yeah, sometimes you have to boil it down to as simple as that. A lot of times in any sport, players will tend to make things bigger for themselves than they need to be. That one also a little low. Make it a 2-0 count. A little low to the outside. 3-0 count now. And another walk. Oh, pardon me, it's not going to be a walk.
It's going to be a balk.
Allow another run to be scored for the Tornadoes. 17-4 now stands the score. And now Morton will walk to first. Bases loaded once again with number 15, Logan Clark, up to bat. Right down the middle. Bybee responding very well after the latest walk.
I know, you got to think that fatigue is definitely starting to play a factor among at least these pitchers.
Trying to turn two. And indeed, they get the double play to get to the bottom of the third. Well, you're looking from a certain point of view, the Southern Virginia Knights were able to improve a little bit on defense that time, only allowing 2 runs to be scored compared to the 7 in the first and 8 in the second. So right now the score stands 17-4 going to the bottom of the third. Batting first for Southern Virginia will be number 25, Stockton Hall, with number 6, Ty Martinez, on deck. It looks like we'll continue to see number 7, Bryce Bowers, the senior from Madisonville, Tennessee, pitching for the Tornadoes, as he's had a pretty steady day so far. He has 2 strikeouts. But again, for the Knights, he finds themselves down by 13 runs early in this one. And I'll remind you folks back at home once again that these conference doubleheaders, both games go to 9 innings apiece rather than the 7-inning games that you see in your typical doubleheaders that are non-conference. So you look at it right now, you still have another 6 innings to go, and you can tell there's a lot of work to be done. The benefit, if you really call it a benefit, of being down like this early on is the fact that there's still a lot of time to make up for it. There's still a lot of time to battle back, to try to figure some things out, to get more consistent pitching, to get some runs scored. Again, a lot of time in the world to start doing things right. Here's Stockton Hall. Bowers currently sitting after this pitch on 40 pitches. That makes it an 0-1 count.
Yeah, about 40 pitchers is kind of nothing for starters. Starters you usually go around 70, 80 pitches.
Fantastic fielding work from number 3, Luke Morton. Helps get the out at first. Now up to bat is number 6, Ty Martinez, with Marcelino Leonardo on deck. So 1 out now here in the bottom of the third. That one sinks into the strike zone, make it an 0-1 count. That one drops just a little too high. Make it 1-1. Right down the middle. What a fastball from Bowers.
Bowers' pitching style is definitely getting the Knights off balance because it's such a quick release.
That's hit to left field. Easy work there for Lucas Granada. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the third. Now to bat is number 28, Marcelino Leonardo Jr.
He almost had a home run the last time he was at bat, so we'll see if he can't.
Indeed, he was within an inch of getting it over the fence for a home run, right near our broadcast booth. Leonardo's chasing him now. Puts him in an early 0-2 count. Right down the middle for a strikeout. So 3 up, 3 down as the Tornadoes will get back to bat. Again, going into the 4th inning, the top of the 4th. Score stands 17 runs to 4 in favor of the Tornadoes of Brevard College here in this USA South 3-game series, the 3rd game of this series. Again, the Tornadoes took the first 2 games, the first one by a score of 8-5, and the second one by a score of 19-16. And so we have another substitution at pitcher, number 31, Alma Denny. We saw him in the first game of the day.
He had a little bit of success in the last game. He was able to come in and close out the inning last time he was at pitcher. So we'll see if giving him the start this inning. So now SVU has gone through 4 different pitchers in 4 innings.
It has been tough for Southern Virginia pitching-wise. As again, you have a little bit of consistency at first, but then you have issues like in the previous inning where you have 3 straight walks and then you have bases loaded and you walk 3 times to allow 2 runs off walks, which is just, that's not something you like to see as a pitcher. You never like to see runs scored, period. But when runs are scored off walks, that's when you know things need to be adjusted and reconfigured and regroup and figure out what you need to do. And you know, you look at the statistics for hits and errors, it's very even. Brevard College has 10 hits compared to Southern Virginia's 8, and both teams have 1 error apiece. And so as far as those important stats is concerned,
considering the last game, SVU had almost had, we're in the double digits on errors, so they're definitely getting better on.
Indeed. And so for Brevard, though, they had 11 walks, have 2 home runs, and 15 RBIs. That's the big separator right now. Now up to bat for the Tornadoes is number 26, Cale Oler. Right down the middle there for Denny. Makes it an 0-1 count.
Cale Oler on his first at bat had a sacrifice fly to bring in the first point of the game.
Indeed he did. He's had a really successful day and a really successful series overall. That last pitch was a ball, make it a 1-1 count. Foul ball, make it 1-2. Strong hit into left field. Horsley trying to dive for it is short. That'll be a double for Oler. It's now runner on second. And up to bat now is number 19, Frankie Vasquez. Vasquez already has scored 2 runs today. 1 hit, 1 RBI. And has been walked once. Low pitch there from Denny.
Again, SVU pitchers are just not able to find that strike zone today.
A lot of their pitches are very low. A lot of them releasing a little late. That's been a consistent problem for the majority of Southern Virginia's pitchers. That one a little to the inside, makes it a 2-0 count. That popped out into left field. That might have the power behind it to go over, and indeed it does. Another home run for the Tornadoes. That brings the score to 19 runs to 4, matching the total runs they had in the last game earlier today. off the home run of Frankie Vasquez. Now up to bat for the Tornadoes will be number 1, Lucas Granada. That makes 3 total home runs for the Tornadoes in this game. Next pitch. Denny hits Granada, and Granada will advance to first. So now a runner on first for Brevard College. Now with number 14, Brett Burchett up to bat.
Yeah, it looks like he was not happy getting hit on that one.
Maybe he felt it was intentional. Pitch low to the outside. Again, 0 outs here. Top of the 4th. Score stands 19 runs to 4 in favor of Brevard College. That one just a little high there from Denny.
Right now in the bullpen, it looks like number 18, that's going to be Stone Robinson, is warming up in the bullpen.
That last pitch is a ball, make it a 3-0 count. Nice inside strike for Denny. That makes it a 3-1 count. Again, this is Brett Burchett at bat. Now he will walk to first. Runners on first and second now. Still 0 outs here in the top of the 4th.
Gonna be a
possible pitcher's change here as head coach Jerry Schligemelch goes to the pitcher's mound.
Trying to stall and give Stone just a couple more pitches to warm up.
These are tough situations as a coach where you try to thread the line of, I know my pitchers are capable of the things I need them to do. And in some games you have to understand, like, hey, maybe we need to just put someone in. And they've done that several times here in this doubleheader. Swing and a miss there for number 32, Parker Cruz. Cruz has scored 2 runs, 2 hits, 4 RBIs. Of course, he had the grand slam. It's a low pitch there from Denny.
And count's going to make it 1 ball, 1 strike.
Swing and a miss there. Make it a 1-2 count for Cruz. Swing and a miss. And Denny gets his first strike out of the game. That's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, definitely that coach's talk definitely helped him there a little bit. Able to get that first strikeout in the most important first out of the 4th.
Now to bat is number 4, Zach Allison. Allison has also scored 2 runs, 3 RBIs, and 1 double. That one just outside for Denny. Make it a 1-0 count. Swing and a miss. There's actually a substitution in the batting order here right now with number 10, Taylor Matern. is his first at-bat of the day. Low pitch there from Denny. Makes it a 2-1 count. That one just a little low.
Taking batter's prerogative they don't necessarily need to take.
Now we have runners on second and third. As a foul ball. That makes it a full count. Has it roll into center field. Another run is scored for the Tornadoes. Now runners on first and third. That makes the score 20 runs to 4.
And yes, folks, you did hear that right. The score is 20-4 in favor of the Tornadoes.
They've really had a fantastic, consistent outing in these 3 games against Southern Virginia. If you missed the first game of the doubleheader here today, Southern Virginia was able to match that pretty well, only falling 19-16. Well, I say only, but only falling by a deficit of 3 runs. So far in the second game of the day, Southern Virginia just hasn't really been able to live up to that first game. Their offense really hasn't been able to get much going, and Brevard College has not slowed down in the slightest. So now up to bat, top of the batting order, number 6, Blake Burchett. And bringing it down for the out is Ty Martinez.
That's going to be a sacrifice fly, scoring another run for the Tornadoes there on that one.
Indeed it will be, as scoring that one is number 14. That is Brett Burchett. And that'll keep number 10, Taylor Mattern, at first. So 2 outs now. Score now stands 21 runs to 4. Low pitch there from Denny. Makes it a 2-0 count. With 2 outs, top of the 4th. Runner on first. Solid hit, rolls into left field. Mattern will advance to second. So a single for Morton. Now to bat for the Tornadoes is number 15, Logan Clark. Clark has scored 1 run, has 1 hit, 2 RBIs, 1 double, has been struck out once. That one a little outside for ball 1. That one a little high.
There's also been a little bit of inconsistency from these umpires, I think.
To an extent, at some points they favored the inside pitch, at some points they favored the outside bottom corner.
Doesn't find anything there. That makes it 3 balls, no strikes.
Indeed, a 3-0 count. But that does provide one of the unique aspects of baseball, is the human involvement there, as that's caught by Ty Martinez for the 3rd out.
That is a much needed 3rd out for the Knights.
Indeed, as we go to the bottom of the 4th, the score stands 21 runs to 4 in favor of the Tornadoes of Brevard College, as the Knights give up 4 runs in the 4th. The Knights have yet to score a run since the 2nd inning. They will absolutely look to change that here in the bottom of the 4th. Again, the Knights in the first game today did a great job of going back and forth with Brevard College, having a couple of fantastic scoring innings, including one where they scored 8 runs and another with 5. So on any other given day, Southern Virginia would be very happy with themselves right now with the offense that they have put on. It's just defensively, and honestly, just talking about Brevard College as a hitting team and as a base running team, they've just been playing lights out against the Knights. So at bat for Southern Virginia will be number 44, Benji Horsley. Horsley has 1 hit, he has 1 RBI. And on deck will be Robert Stempen. That one right down the middle for Bowers. Makes it an 0-1 count. Bowers at this point has 3 strikeouts. That one a little inside, makes it a 1-1 count. And we've talked several times about Bowers' quick release that he has, and we've talked about how it makes it really hard for a batter to read, and has given him a lot of success in this game. That's hit out into left field. And it's going to bounce over the fence. So ground rule double for Horsley. He'll be followed by Robert Stempen. So again, you're wanting to whittle your way into this lead. Again, right now the score stands 21-4. So it's a tough lead to overcome. But again, the thing you can do is to work slowly and surely, make the plays that you can, have well-placed hits, get some RBIs, try to make things interesting.
It's going to be on the outside.
That makes it a 1-0 count.
Bad throw from the catcher finds its way to the second baseman.
Very fortunate that didn't roll any further, or Horsley would have been making his way to third. Solid slam there. Drops the middle of center field, so Horsley will advance to third. And we're back to the top of the batting order with number 10, Will Parker. I want to correct myself. The last batter was number 15, Ryan Ferris, who is now at first. Right down the middle, make it an 0-1 count. Still 0 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Solid hit into right field. Horsley will score. And Ferris will stay at second. Brings the score to 21 runs to 5. So a solid hit from Parker with number 21, Jackson Massey, up to bat.
Massey up to bat with Nick coming up next.
And still 0 outs, like you said, with Nick Daines coming up. Like to see what he can help the Knights accomplish. Should Massey be able to get on base? Hit to second. Try for the double play. And they get it. But Ferris will advance to third. So just like that, 2 quick outs, and Nick Daines up to bat. And the Tornadoes doing a great job of avoiding a bad scenario for them, which would have been bases loaded with Nick Daines at bat. And again, another great example of fantastic infield play from the Tornadoes that we've seen all day long. Low pitch there from Bowers.
Down in the dirt, ball 1.
Make it a 1-0 count. Right down the middle. Make it a 1-1 count. That one a little to the outside. Solid hit to right field. Another run scored for the Knights. Nick Daines continues to impress. Now to bat for the Knights, number 20, Mitch Smith. Now last run brings the score to 21 runs to 6 here in the bottom of the 4th.
Mitch Smith already with a home run in this game. Gave the Knights the two runs in the first inning. We'll see if he can't come up with it again with his good old buddy Nick over there on first.
And that first pitch is a strike, make it a 0-1 count. Pops up into center field. Plenty of time to get underneath it. And it's cop number 15, Logan Clark. And that's 3 outs. So another inning of 2 runs for Southern Virginia, the same as the first and second. Brings the total score to 21-6 as we go to the top of the 5th.
We are going to see a pitching change here. Stone Robinson, a freshman left-handed pitcher from Hattiesburg,
Mississippi.
Thank you. Comes into the game for the first time this series.
So we'll see what he can do as a left-handed pitcher. Again, that always creates an interesting dynamic.
He's a lefty, and I think he's also another sidearm.
So during this break between innings, we want to once again remind you you're watching this on Knights Broadcasting here on YouTube. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know how we can improve this presentation of Southern Virginia athletics. And be sure to click that notification bell. That way you get notified every single time we go live with Southern Virginia athletics. Thank you so much for supporting Knights Broadcasting. Indeed, Stone Robinson will be pitching with number 26, Cale Oler, up to bat. Oler's had a lot of success. 2 runs scored, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, 1 double, and 1 home run.
Conversations being had between the 2 coaches and the umpires for today.
So just going to walk you through the scoring for the first 4 innings for Brevard College. In the first inning, they got started really quickly with 7 runs. Second inning with 8. The third inning, they were limited to 2. In the fourth inning, they were limited to 4. Bring us to your total 21 so far. So the Knights looking to pitch the first 0-run inning of the game.
First one for Stone's down in the dirt for ball 1. Yeah, no, Stone's another side-on dipper.
He gets, is actually number 34. There's a change made as Adam Rushing gets him to swing. That one off to the left side. That one just a little to the inside. That makes it a 3-1 count. The strike makes it a full count.
Finds that bottom left corner.
Foul ball.
Keeps his fight alive.
It's a foul ball once again. Looked close, but Rushing will walk to first. It looked like they may have drifted outside just at the last moment. First pitch is a strike. Is actually number 8, Chandler Bryson, up to bat. Last pitch makes it a 0-2 count. That makes it a 1-2 count. For those just tuning in, it's the top of the 5th inning. Brevard College has a 21-6 run lead over the Knights. Has popped up, dropped right in between the second baseman and center fielder. So that advances number 34, Adam Rushing, to second. You see Brevard College putting in some new batters into their lineup. And Rushing will easily get to third. Number 12, Peter Fumero, is up to bat. That one outside. Ball 2. 2-0 is the count.
Finds the strike there, making the count 2 balls, 1 strike.
Gets him a swing at that one. Evens up the count at 2. That's popped straight up. Nick Daines in the center field able to track it down.
And throw it right back to the pitcher.
Makes it 1 out.
No, sorry, first baseman, not pitcher.
So runner still on second and third. I believe we have number 43, Carson Whitehead, up to bat. The freshman from Ramsey, North Carolina. The last several batters have been making their first or only second appearance at bat today.
Yeah, I think Brevard at this point is playing their what would be considered the JV team, as they've been pitch hitting a lot of their standard players now.
Swing and a miss for Whitehead. That makes the count 1-2 with 1 out. On way to the outside. Makes it a 2-2 count. That one low to the outside, makes the count full. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Robinson, his first of the game. That makes it 2 outs. Now up to bat is number 38, Gavin McCoy, freshman first baseman from Silva, North Carolina. First pitch is low, make it a 1-0 count. Still runners on second and third. Nice inside strike for Robinson.
Makes the count 1 ball, 1 strike.
Curves into the strike zone. Impressive pitch there from Robinson, makes the count 1-2.
I think Robinson's finally is able to settle in now.
Nice swing into left field. The Tornadoes will get another run scored. That was number 34, Rushing. Makes the score 22-6. Now at bat number 10, Taylor Mattern. Still 2 outs. Here at the top of the 5th. One slides to the outside, makes it a 1-0 count. Swing and a miss. Makes it a 1-1 count. Another strike. Makes it 1-2. That one inside, I believe, hits Mattern on the foot. So now bases loaded.
Yeah, that hit him on the foot, so that stops the runner on third from coming in to score. Pitch hitting is going to be number 21, Johnson.
Indeed, that is Micah Johnson, junior from Hendersonville, North Carolina. First pitch is a ball, make it a 1-0 count. Pitch a little to the outside. Got to be careful now with number 8, Chandler Bryson on third. Nice swing into right field. That'll be a foul ball. That foul ball makes it a 2-1 count. That one's to the outside, make it 3-1. Right down the middle, the count is now full. Yeah, for those who are just tuning in, the score stands 22 runs to 6 in favor of the Tornadoes of Brevard College. Another foul ball for Micah Johnson. Count stays full. And with that, another run will be scored for the Tornadoes, making it 23-6. That was Bryson getting the run. First pitch a little outside. That one just a little high. That one a very low strike. Batting is number 9, Logan Sawyer, freshman from Asheboro, North Carolina. Foul ball there, makes the count 1-2.
Still 2 outs in the inning, so if Robinson can find find that third strike, he gets him out of this inning.
And that would be his second strikeout of the game. That one just a little to the outside, makes it a 2-2 count. Another foul ball. And there it is, the second strikeout for Robinson. And that's get back up to bat here in the bottom of the 5th. The score still stands 23 runs to 6 in favor of the Tornadoes of Brevard College here in this USA South 3-game series. We'll see Stockton Hall up to bat unless we see a lineup change, which I'd imagine we possibly will. With the short break, we want to remind you this is brought to you via Knights Broadcasting here on YouTube. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know how we can improve, as well as click that notification bell. That way you get notified every single time we go live with Southern Virginia Athletics. Thank you so much for supporting Knights Broadcasting. As well, we want to give a shout out to our athletic partners, Straws Drinks and Eats here in Buena Vista, Virginia. We mentioned before we got some nice hot chocolates from them earlier today. Great drinks, great treats, and great times. So be sure to go check them out if you're visiting the Buena Vista, Virginia area for any reason, whether it be visiting the campus or visiting the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountain hikes we have here in the area. Definitely go check out Straws Drinks and Eats today. Up to bat for the Knights, number 14, Dylan Boyce, senior from Catlett, Virginia. This is his first time at bat today. Continuing to pitch for the Tornadoes is number 7, Bryce Bowers. Nice little outside strike.
Bryce. Yeah, Bryce sitting at 62 pitches, so he is starting to slowly but surely starting to feel that pitch count.
There's a foul ball there. That makes it an 0-2 count. That one high to the outside, makes it a 1-2 count. Another foul ball.
So just falling a little bit too late behind his pitch right now. Well, of course, the way he's been pitching, it's not surprising. Bowers has just a quick wind-up.
So a strike there, fielded by number 9, Logan Sawyer. Safe at first is Dylan Boyce.
That's going to be thrown off. That's going to be an off-balance throw there.
Now number 7, Luke Paulson, sophomore from Taylorsville, Utah, up to bat. Again, we can expect to see a lot of pinch hitters here placed into the lineup.
Trying to find out which batters can handle Bowers.
And also considering the deficit at this point, you want to make sure that you give a lot of players the opportunity that they can to face different situations, and again, allow your batters that don't get as much opportunities or at-bats to go up against a pitcher like Bowers. Just kind of get him that experience. Foul ball there. Paulson sits at an 0-2 count. With Boyce at first. Into the dirt, and Boyce makes his way to second.
No throw's going to end up happening there, so he gets he reaches on the error.
Swing and a miss there for Paulson. Only one out here in the bottom of the fifth. For those just joining us, the score stands 23 runs to 6 in favor of the Tornadoes. Paulson struck out that time. Number 29, Braden Weingart, the freshman from Firestone, Colorado, up to bat. Pitch from Bowers just a little low. Makes it a 1-0 count. Pitch a little high.
Yeah, so far coming into this inning, so far Bowers has been pitching 71 pitches so far, so he's definitely starting to feel that arm of his just a little bit. He still may be able to go another 10, 15 pitches, though.
Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, although I would be shocked to see him pitching next inning. Again, considering the deficit in the score, as well as the pitch count, as you just mentioned. Pitch drops right into the strike zone. Makes it a 2-1 count. That's popped up into the infield. Easy catch there for number 30. That is Hayden Jennings, sophomore from Beaufort, South Carolina. Nate Wayne, freshman from Stewart's Draft, Virginia, wearing jersey number 1 for Southern Virginia, will be up to bat. And after that pop fly, there's 2 outs here. That strike makes it a 0-1 count. That one's a low dropper. Makes it a 1-1 count. Yeah, foul ball. That makes it a 1-2 count. Pitch a little low, makes it 2-2. That one also low, makes the count full. Full count, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Score still stands 23 runs to 6. Another foul ball.
Keeping his dream alive. Best thing you can wish for besides just a normal base hit is just keep trying to find that timing against the pitcher and forcing him to pitch even more. And then eventually either he'll make a mistake or you'll find the pitch you're looking for.
And a strikeout for out number 3. That'll bring us to the top of the 6th inning. Score still stands 23 runs to 6.
And
I believe they're going to...
That's going to be the mercy rule.
Indeed, they're going to call the game early due to the deficit. So Brevard College comes out of this conference matchup series 3-0 against the Knights of Southern Virginia. The Knights, again, kept things interesting in the first 2 games, ran out of steam in the 3rd. And so the Knights will fall to a 7-8 record on the season, and the Tornadoes will improve to 13-6, as this marks 3 straight games won in 2 days. And so, again, at the end of the day, it was a hard-fought series. Brevard College just able to get the better of Southern Virginia in the first 2, and then, again, like I mentioned before, the Knights kind of ran out of steam, weren't really able to keep up with the highest scoring effort of Brevard College. And so a lot of things to discuss, I'm sure, for Southern Virginia in the coming days. Again, this being the first conference matchup they have had on the year. And I've talked about before, conference matchups are the most important games you can have in any sport, honestly. Whether it be basketball, volleyball, football, conference games are the games that you look forward to the most, that you know you need to win to give yourself a chance in the postseason to do anything beyond just simply playing through the motions, to actually make memories, win championships, and have exciting moments in a player's career. So, with that being said, we thank you for joining us today for this doubleheader and presentation of Southern Virginia baseball. I'm Dawson Weidrich alongside Christian Clement. Thank you for joining us today. Have a good day, and go Knights.